Before he turned 12, he'd already been arrested 40 times. A young boy, taunted and bullied, found peace in the company of pigeons. That boy was Mike Tyson, and from the remains of his childhood struggles rose a fighter. A fighter whose first punch was blown not out of rage, but in defense of his beloved pigeon. The first year of his professional boxing career earned him the name Iron Mike, knocking out every opponent with a record of 15-0. His fists weren't just fast, they were ruthless.
I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me.
Punches are not made, they are born. He was born a puncher.
Here is the dynamic Mike Tyson.
Tyson, oh, long as that. And Marvis is hurt.
I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.
And the next thing you know, Mike Tyson was like the hottest up-and-coming fighter.
This is the story of Iron Mike. Iron Mike versus Problem Child. Tyson is making a comeback, almost 19 years after his last professional bout against Kevin McBride. He's now returning to face off 27-year-old YouTube-turned-boxer Jake Paul, Child, on July 20th, 2024, at AT&T Stadium in a boxing bout in Texas. For Tyson, Jake Paul is nothing but a hero of the boxing world who saved boxing from its death. Mike Tyson had even complimented Jake Paul for the way he's changed the boxing game.
Fucking God. You headlined a $60 million pay-per-view fight. Oh my God.
The YouTuber-turned-boxer Jake Paul wanted to face real boxers and therefore chose to fight with a long-retired older boxer Mike Tyson to contest for the world title.
Jake Paul and Mike
Tyson. Mike Tyson, who's also earned the names Baddest Man on the Planet and Kid Dynamite, is training to revive his name in boxing history.
SeatGeek.com is where you can get the tickets. All right, Nikita, let's bring them out to square off these incredible fighters. Make some noise.
It seems Tyson is excited and shaped to face off with powerful and young Jake Paul. But there's a concern that Tyson might face a knockout in the bout.
That's not the guy I'm going to be fighting. This guy's going to come, he's going to try to hurt me, which I'm accustomed to, and he's going to be greatly mistaken.
Mike Tyson's fans, too, are concerned for Tyson's safety, especially given Jake Paul's continuous threats in his controversial videos and messages. But Tyson isn't holding back, too. He's expressing his strength, showing he's ready to give it all.
Day 2, I'm getting ready for you.
Mike Gerard Tyson was born in Fort Greene, Brooklyn, New York on June 30th, 1966. Jimmy Kirkpatrick was Tyson's stepfather, yet he was more to Tyson than his biological father, Purcell Tyson, who was also listed on his birth certificate.
Did you know your father?
Not well. I knew the man who they said my father was.
But you were never sure?
No.
Did you have a conversation with that man?
Yeah.
Did you ask him, are you my father?
Yeah.
What did he tell you?
Well, I'm champ of the world. Of course he'll say yes.
Tyson was the youngest child of his parents. Aside from his elder siblings, a brother named Rodney and a sister named Denise, who died from a heart attack at the age of 24. Throughout his childhood, Tyson faced hardships both in his upbringing and his surroundings. When he was 2, Tyson's stepfather, Jimmy Kirkpatrick, abandoned Tyson's family. This was the beginning of Tyson's real-life struggles. Following Kirkpatrick's abandonment, financial conditions forced them to move to a low-priced neighborhood in Brownsville when Tyson was 10. Brownsville, at the time, was famous for being the murder capital of New York, with the highest rates of detention and violent crimes. This marked the point when Tyson entered the world of crime.
Everything was so hostile. There was never a subtle moment there. It was always hostile. Cops always stopping. You know what I mean? Ambulance always coming to pick up somebody.
Throughout his childhood, Tyson faced bullying and was mocked for his high-pitched voice, chubbiness, and lisp. For this very reason, Tyson found comfort in the company of pigeons instead of humans, regarding them as his real friends.
Look at this bird, man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's what the jingles. Look at them. Unbelievable.
The pigeons were big. You know, there were guys over here that had pigeons. They had Danny had pigeons over here, Chucky. All these guys had pigeons on this side, too. You know?
However, one of his bullies tore Tyson's beloved pigeon's head off with his bare hands.
I never went to school because I got bullied all the time. That's why I got involved with pigeons, because I was skipping school to avoid the bullies. My life sucked as a kid. I was just bullied all. I hate my childhood life.
In response, Tyson avenged and fought with the older bully for the death of his pigeon. Tyson also became involved with a local gang named Jolly Stompers, known for their involvement in violence. Being a part of the gang, Tyson frequently fought individuals who bullied him because of his voice and weight. Gus D'Amato, a father figure. By the age of 11, Tyson was already introduced to cocaine and acid. Raised by a single mother, Lorna Mae Tyson, who was struggling with substance abuse herself, Tyson became a part of petty crimes and violence, leading him to imprisonment more than 30 times.
It was a great learning experience in life.
He was a teenage mugger and predator. He had 38 arrests as a juvenile.
At last, Tyson was sent to a juvenile center in upstate New York, from where he was admitted to Tyrone School for Boys. Bobby Stewart, former boxer and juvenile detention center counselor, was the first person who uncovered Tyson's real strength, the power in his strong fists.
I met Tyson in Catskill, New York, with Cus D'Amato. I was up there training fighters. I was training all the fighters for Cus D'Amato. I was training at the time when Bobby Stewart, who was a correctional officer in a youth prison.
After training for a few months, Stewart introduced Tyson to Cus D'Amato, a renowned boxing coach who later became a father figure for Mike Tyson.
Cus D'Amato rescued him from a life of crime in prison, gave him an opportunity, developed his boxing skills.
Tyson was 12. He was very shy.
Cus D'Amato was a legendary boxing figure who had led champions like Jose Torres and Floyd Patterson to world titles.
Cus D'Amato rescued him from a life of crime in prison, gave him an opportunity, developed his boxing skills.
Tyson later quit his high school as a junior.
He had problems. He got thrown out of the school. A lot of the stuff, quite honestly, was kept quiet because the image was important. You know, the kid and the old man.
At the age of 16, Tyson's mother departed, handing him over to Cus D'Amato.
When he found out that Stewart was a former fighter, which he was, pro and amateur, Stewart showed him a couple of things, and Tyson became very energized and very excited about the prospect of maybe learning how to box.
Considering Tyson's skills, D'Amato immediately adopted Tyson and moved him in with his family circle.
We trained him, myself and Teddy, at the beginning. We trained him steadily until finally started to get boxing, and then he developed the ability to slip punches and so forth.
Aside from D'Amato, Teddy Atlas and Kevin Rooney became Tyson's side trainers, providing him with full boxing knowledge.
He was like a sponge, and he just absorbed everything that Cus had to teach him. You know, the head movement, throwing the punches with bad intentions, the proper snap. And I recall Mike, you know.
And they said, you have too much talent, you know what I mean? And they said, you're a good kid, but if you go back to Brooklyn, you're only going to get yourself in trouble. And from that point on, he adopted me.
The beginning of professional career. The assistance and support of his team turned Tyson's aggression from his childhood into a controlled yet fearful rage in the boxing ring. Tyson grew into a merciless fighter. As soon as he entered the ring, he'd come flying and release his anger on whoever faced him in the boxing ring, knocking the hell out of his opponent. Tyson's early wins in boxing as an amateur began in 1981. He won his initial gold medals in the 1981 and 1982 Olympics, following the defeat of Joe Cortez in merely 8 seconds in June 1981.
You're the champ, fight smart and like a tiger and calm.
And Kelton Brown in 1982.
Mike Tyson, very, very strong boxer, Tyson. Tell you, very, very strong. Brown has taken some vicious punishment and held on. He's still in there. I don't think there's another right by Tyson. That's right. He's giving up. Patel's coming in. Look at old Tyson jump on the ropes.
On April 21st, 1984, Tyson knocked down Jonathan Littles at the Nation Golden Gloves and won a gold medal of 91 kilograms in New York.
And the next thing you know, Mike Tyson was like the hottest up-and-coming fighter that we had seen since a young Cassius Clay or Rocky Marciano. I mean, they were putting him in, or Joe Louis, they were putting him in that category. Because what? Because he was knocking guys out. He was knocking guys. Every time he threw the punch, he threw with bad intentions, and he wasn't getting hit.
When he turned 18, Tyson made his professional debut. fighting and knocking out Hector Mercedes in round 1 at Plaza Convention Center in Albany, New York, in the year 1985. Between 1985 and 1986, Tyson was successful in claiming the winning title 27 times, with a KO, knockout, or TKO, technical knockout. In November 1986, Tyson put down WBC champion Trevor Berbick in the second round, making it to 28-0 while becoming the youngest champ in heavyweight history, being a 20-year-old. Tyson's next 2 fights in March against James Bone Crusher Smith and in August against Tony Tucker in 1986 resulted in Tyson being the first heavyweight to hold 3 major belts, WBC, WBA, and IBF, simultaneously.
A top 10 fighter. And then he became the #1 contender. And then he became heavyweight champion of the world. So to come out of my bedroom in the morning, and there on the couch is the heavyweight champion of the world.
In 1987, Nintendo released the game Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, which sold around 2 million copies, making it one of the most famous games at the time.
This is one of the best. They still sell that? You remember this? Yeah, this is the #1 selling video game right now. Currently, it's not even out until Christmas. No, but this was the best.
Throughout the year 1988, Tyson remained an undisputed champion, defeating 2 boxing legends, Larry Holmes and Michael Spinks. On January 22, 1988, Tyson knocked down Holmes in the 4th round, marking the bout as Holmes' only KO defeat in his 51-fight career.
He should be hanging on. There with the right hand, the left hand. He's going to hang on, or they'll stop the fight. Down he goes. Now he's hurt. It's all over. He is knocked out. He didn't even bother the count. It was a vicious right hand. It came like a bolt.
Holmes at the time was retired at the age of 35, but was compelled to re-enter the ring for a $2.8 million purse. On June 27th of the same year, Tyson knocked out Michael Spinks in just 91 seconds.
6 and 7 and 8. That was a body shot that took him down. Here comes Mike Spinks in. He leads to the right hand. Down he goes. I don't think you get up from this. Mike Spinks is laying flat on his back. The count is up to 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. He won't be able to do it. It's all over. Mike Tyson has won it. Spinks almost fell back through a dramatic first round.
Although Tyson held all of the belts, Ring Magazine and others thought of Spinks as the only lineal champ in the bout. After this bout, Spinks never returned to the ring. Mike Tyson, during the same year, married the American actress Robin Givens in a Catholic church in Chicago. Givens was at the time starring on the sitcom Head of the Class.
Turned his attentions to a beautiful young actress, the star of a popular television sitcom, Robin Givens.
At the beginning, I was for the idea of Tyson marrying Robin Givens because Tyson was getting too wild. He began to get attention from women in the street, and he was going crazy with women.
The decline of legacy. After claiming numerous victories and making his name in the boxing industry, Tyson witnessed his first loss. On February 11, 1990, Tyson faced former boxing legend James "Buster" Douglas, with Douglas winning through TKO in the 10th round.
Mike actually has been busted, landing these. Oh, nice uppercut by Buster Douglas. Look at that. He's knocked down for the first time in his career. Mike Tyson hits the canvas. He's in big trouble. He's not going to make it. Unbelievable.
Tyson became hopeless with his life and career following the bout with Spinks. Aside from the grief of his defeat, Tyson was already suffering the loss of his guardian, Cus D'Amato, in 1985.
Cus died 1 year before Tyson became a champion. And Cus was saying publicly that he was still alive, probably because of Tyson.
During this phase, Jimmy Jacobs assumed the place of Cus D'Amato, becoming the manager of Tyson. When Jacobs died, Don King won over Tyson and eventually became his manager and promoter.
Then Jim Jacobs died when Mike was 21, and that created the opening, the opportunity for Don King to move in on a very confused 21-year-old kid and manipulate him into becoming part of Don King's empire.
In fact, King was the person who encouraged and pushed Tyson to indulge in partying, drugs, women, and alcohol.
I felt like Mike was kidnapped into the Don King cult and brainwashed.
Don is a master of finding a person's weakness.
This, in turn, triggered the beginning of Tyson's downfall, both in his professional and personal life.
The fight is on. King used Tyson's life and the women around him to control him. There he is. By nature, I'm wild.
Tyson's wife, Robin Givens, began attempting to control and take over Tyson's boxing career, including his bank accounts.
I thought it'd be good for Mike, but as soon as she got married, she called up and said, she's Mrs. Mike Tyson. I'm taking over. I want to see all the books and all the records.
In 1988, once Mike got married, Robin Givens and Ruth, of course, were very interested in taking over Mike's career.
Later, rumors of Tyson being a drug and alcohol abuser surfaced, which came out to be true.
And Robin Givens gets up and announces to Bill Caton that I'm Mrs. Tyson now, and everything's got to go through me. So right then, that was the first sign that they were looking to take Tyson over.
All while being infamous for his drug usage, Tyson faced trouble in his married life too with Robin Givens. Tyson was accused of marital abuse, violence, and mental instability, putting an end to his year-long marriage.
Everything was pretty calm for about 6 to 8 weeks. And then there was the blow-up between Mike Tyson and Robin Givens at the mansion in Bernardsville.
During a joint live interview with Barbara Walters on ABC TV News magazine, Givens made allegations about Tyson being abusive to her, with Mike Tyson sitting by her side.
Michael is a manic depressive. He is. I mean, that's just a fact. And when he's in a manic state, he doesn't sleep. He gets out of control, throwing, screaming.
As Givens described her life with Tyson and alleged that Tyson was abusive, he showed calm and intent behavior.
He suffered in silence. I think that Tyson turned the hurtfulness and the sorrow into some vicious anger, and he started knocking guys. He was knocking guys out in the gym.
Following a month of the show, Givens sought divorce from Tyson, with the two of them getting separated in February 1989. A year later, Tyson lost to Douglas, but this was only the beginning of Tyson's descent.
What an uppercut by Douglas!
We acknowledge the fact that Buster Douglas put on a brilliant performance. The man was magnificent.
So Tyson looked mean at him. Douglas said, okay, and he started throwing a couple of jabs. He started landing, first round, second round, third round. Now all of a sudden, Buster Douglas went from being what we call a scared fighter to a brave fighter.
In 1991, Tyson was accused of rape by an 18-year-old beauty pageant contestant, Desiree Washington. Tyson met Washington in July 1991 during a rehearsal for the Miss Black America pageant in Indianapolis.
Our life with Tyson, with women, was simple. They were always around. They were always trying to claw themselves into the car and trying to get with him, and it becomes confusing. King knew this.
Despite the allegation, Tyson insisted that everything that happened between them was consensual, and he didn't pressure Washington in any way. The grand jury of Indiana found Tyson guilty of his act and gave him a 6-year prison sentence and 4 years of probation.
Back up. Come on, back up. Out of the way. Out of the way.
Tyson began serving his sentence in March 1992 at Indiana Youth Center.
Running around trying to grab people. Basically, women would put themselves in his arms and actually melt and fold and twist in certain ways that he would react to like any man would.
However, after serving 3 years in prison, Tyson was released from prison in March 1995.
We knew that it was going to be like this because it's Indiana.
Well, I think it was probably a very fair verdict.
And what I want to say is, while we're confident of the verdict...
During his time in prison, Tyson converted to Islam and adopted an alternative Muslim name, Malik Abdul Aziz. Short-lived success. Following his release from prison, Tyson regained his glory temporarily, winning 3 bouts and losing 1 between 1995 and 1996.
From Amboy Street in Brooklyn, and a part of the community, the former world champion of the world, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson.
In 1995, Tyson defeated Peter McNeely in the first round. McNeely's bout attracted 1.55 million PPV buys and generated $95 million. Mike Tyson encountered Frank Bruno and Bruce Seldon in 1996. Tyson reclaimed the WBC title by TKO with Frank Bruno in the 3rd round.
Looking for the Tyson who fought McNeely and Mathis. There's a combination uppercut by Tyson. Tyson laying it on, pouring it on, down goes
secured the WBA title by a KO of Bruce Seldon in round 1.
It's time. He had a nice long rest there, but he has felt. Back comes Sheldon. And Tyson with a left hook, and Sheldon is down on his stomach.
Steve, there are two unalterable truths in boxing. If you have a great chin, you don't have a great chin, you can't get one.
Get it. He's wobbly.
You can always
over.
punch, and that's it.
It's over in the first round.
In November 1997, Tyson faced former professional American boxer Evander Holyfield and lost his WBA title after experiencing a TKO in the 11th round. Tyson once again encountered Holyfield in June of the same year, and yet again he was defeated by Holyfield. This time, Tyson didn't lose by KO or TKO, but rather a DQ, disqualification, in the 3rd round after he'd bitten a chunk of Holyfield's ear off. The first bite got Tyson a 2-point deduction, but Tyson didn't stop there and went for another bite, resulting in the halt of the bout. The infamous bout had 1.99 million PPV buys, which generated $100 million in revenue. As a result, the Nevada State Athletic Commission canceled Tyson's boxing license and imposed a big fine of more than $3 million. As Tyson waited for his license restoration, he sued King for $100 million, claiming King had defrauded him of millions of dollars throughout the years.
If I would have been a nice guy and kept quiet and continued to let people take advantage of me, I would have been kept writing, oh, he's brilliant, he's a magnificent fighter.
In 1997, Tyson's license was reinstated. He returned to the boxing ring on January 16, 1999, in a bout against South African professional boxer Francois Botha, knocking him out in the 1st round.
But Tyson just showing no speed. Punches. Down goes Botha. He may not get up. Botha, it's over. Mike Tyson.
In February, Tyson was caught in yet another controversial case. He was convicted of assaulting 2 motorists following a traffic incident, resulting in Tyson getting a 9-month prison time. Following his release from prison on October 20, 2000, Tyson faced Andrew Golota in a bout and knocked him out in the 3rd round.
He's upset, and I'll tell you what, it was a better round considering the first round.
The bout's result was later switched after Tyson failed his post-fight drug test for marijuana.
I'm not bigger than boxing. Boxing doesn't need me, but I can survive without boxing, just like boxing can survive without me.
On June 8, 2002, Tyson encountered Lennox Lewis in the boxing ring after he challenged Lewis for the WBC, IBF, IBO, and lineal titles. However, Tyson was knocked out by Lewis in the 8th round. This bout took place in Memphis, Tennessee, after Nevada and other states refused to grant Tyson a license. The bout became the highest-grossing event at the time, with 1.95 million PPV buys, generating around $112 million in the US. Tyson's final victory of his boxing career was witnessed in his bout in February 2003 against Clifford Etienne, which ended in Etienne getting knocked out in merely 49 seconds. June 11, 2005 marked the end of Mike Tyson's boxing career following his loss to Kevin McBride in the 7th round. McBride's bout was Tyson's last pro fight. And now he's coming back to the ring on July 20th, 2024 to face off Jake Paul. Clearing all doubts about the bout being a spare match, the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulations authorized the fight as a professional boxing match. Now, the only concern remains the safety of Mike Tyson in the groundbreaking historical match, in which two fierce champs will go head-to-head, setting aside a 30-year age difference. Muhammad Ali, one true idol. During his time at the Juvenile Detention Center at the age of 12, Mike Tyson crossed paths with the boxing legend Muhammad Ali. On a regular day, while Tyson and his fellows were watching a movie in the center, Ali made a surprise appearance, seemingly out of thin air.
I saw Muhammad Ali. I was in a reformatory in the Bronx, New York, named Spofford. And Muhammad Ali came one day out of the blue and come and said, we have a surprise. We saw the movie The Greatest, and then after that, Muhammad Ali came in.
Even during his training under his mentor Cus D'Amato, Tyson would often hear about Muhammad Ali's strength and power through Cus D'Amato. Ali's influence was deep on Tyson, serving as a primary source of inspiration that pushed Tyson toward boxing.
What Muhammad Ali is, there's no word really to explain as far as achievements are concerned, and emotional and psychological achievements, and inspirations that had came from Muhammad Ali.
During their appearance on the Arsenio Hall show in 1990, Tyson and Ali discussed a hypothetical scenario about the bout between them.
Who would have won if you fought this man in your prime?
Mike Tyson's admiration for Muhammad Ali was evident throughout his career, as demonstrated in his fight against Larry Holmes. At the age of 14, while Tyson was still in training, Muhammad Ali lost his bout against Larry Holmes. Ali was almost flattened and couldn't keep up with the bout, prompting his trainer Angelo Dundee to meddle and stop the fight. This marked the first time Ali's bout to be stopped like this.
Angelo is telling the referee to stop it. Bundini is arguing with him.
Check him out. What you want to do?
The game's over. I'm the chief second.
All right.
I stopped the fight.
All right.
He would not give in, Angelo Dundee. He cared about his fighter too much.
That's it. They stopped the fight at TKO.
Following the fight, Tyson overheard Cus D'Amato speaking angrily with Ali on the phone about his defeat. Deeply affected by Ali's loss, Tyson promised Ali that he would one day avenge his defeat against Holmes. Then Tyson fulfilled his promise by facing Holmes in the ring and winning in their bout.
It's October 2nd, 1980. Ali fights Larry Holmes. After the fight, we got in the car, no one talked. The next morning, Cus is on the phone with Muhammad Ali. Cus is calling Larry Holmes so many bad. How do you let that bum hit on you, Chad Ali? How do you the bum? Why you let that bum beat on you? Cus, he's almost getting sensitive, almost crying. He's a bum. Why you let him hit you? Why you let him beat him? Ooh, I'm going back there. So I talked to Ali on the phone. But I said, when I get big, I'm gonna get him for you. I'm gonna revenge you. I'm gonna restore your honor. And then January 22nd, I'm fighting him, and then Ali comes into the ring and says, get him for me.
As Tyson boring in, look at the look on Larry's face. That round after round. Oh, a big right hand, and down goes the former champion. Kevin, how do you feel? It's up to 7 and 8. He's going to be able to continue. Tyson knows he has him in trouble. It's just a matter of time. He should be hanging on. Now with the right hand, the left hand. He's going to hang on, or they'll stop the fight. Down he goes. Larry's hurt. It's all over.
At the age of 74, Muhammad Ali died after suffering from Parkinson's disease in a hospital in Scottsdale, Arizona, on June 13, 2016. Controversies and Cases. After exiting the boxing world, Tyson faced legal challenges in the forthcoming years. In 2006, Tyson was arrested for DUI, driving under influence, and felony drug possession right before he was about to crash into a police SUV in Scottsdale, Arizona. After he was found guilty, Tyson served 24 hours in prison and was released with 3 years of probation and 360 hours of community service. In April 2022, Mike Tyson was involved in another incident in which he repeatedly punched a passenger during his flight on a JetBlue airliner.
Hey, Mike, come on. Let's go stop back. There's always a worse, man.
JetBlue, mid flight. My boy just got beat up by Mike Tyson. Turn that way. Yeah, he got f***ed up.
Tyson said, "He was f***ing with me." He claimed that the passenger was drunk and continued to bother him despite his request to leave him alone. However, Tyson didn't face any charges regarding the incident. In January 2023, an unknown woman came up with a rape allegation against Mike Tyson. She filed a $5 million lawsuit against Tyson, claiming that Tyson had raped her in his own limousine in the 1990s following their meetup in a nightclub. The woman claimed that after this incident, she struggled to maintain healthy relationships with men or other people in general. Mike Tyson came under the limelight again in 2023 when he appeared in a fundraising event sponsored by the Friends of the IDF, Israel Defense Forces, on November 13th. Critics alleged that Tyson contributed to the fundraising for the Israel-Hamas war, which appeared contradictory to his previous statement in support of Palestinians. Tyson later clarified his position through an Instagram message. Personal life, earnings, and businesses. Following Tyson's significant impact on the boxing world, he made around $20 million per fight. The fight that turned out to be the most rewarding for Tyson was him versus Evander Holyfield on June 28, 1997. Tyson earned around $30 million from this bout alone.
Do these figures sound correct? Made around $400 million during your career?
I don't know, it could have been.
According to a rough estimation, Tyson made $300 million during his active boxing scene, but due to his poor financial management and decisions, Tyson ended up wasting his money. Mike Tyson was a big spender. He spent millions in his 20s and 30s on drugs, women, jewelry, multiple cars, mansions, and a white tiger. When he was imprisoned in 1992, Tyson expended $50 million on hiring lawyers and other legal matters.
In your career, they're saying, what happened? That's so much money. Mike, that's a lot of money, Mike. That's
a lot of fun.
Did you guys not just...
Tyson reportedly spent approximately $410,000 on his party at his luxury estate when he turned 30. He also spent $4 million on his Connecticut mansion, $2.2 million on a gold bathtub, $125,000 annually on an animal trainer for his pets, $500,000 on a limited edition Bentley Continental SC, and various other luxury items.
I put a great emphasis on it. You know, I never really, I come very, from a broke background, so I never really had great emphasis. I never really learned the art of handling money as a kid.
$4.5 million on automobiles and motorcycles. Give automobiles to 15 women and 2 men. Once crashed your Rolls Royce and told cops to keep it. Spend $240,000 monthly in just walking around money.
Tyson's wasteful spending led to his bankruptcy filing in 2003. His financial sufferings were increased when he faced legal troubles due to cocaine abuse, resulting in his arrest. Following a decade, when Tyson returned from rehab, he was able to recover from both his financial difficulties and substance abuse issues.
But
how does that happen?
Just being reckless, and young and foolish and stuff, and really not caring.
In an effort to pay off his debts, Tyson tried using exhibition bouts, which he called Tyson's World Tour. In his first bout, he came into the ring with journeyman heavyweight Corey Sander. However, the show appeared less appealing to fans, leading to the cancellation of the tour.
See what Mike does here. Well, he's got a pretty good pace going, pretty good sparring session. Digging body shot by Mike.
Mike Tyson's current net worth is $10 million, a significant decrease from his boxing career earnings. Throughout the years, Tyson has authored and published numerous books, including Undisputed Truth, Iron Ambition, My Life with Cuss, and L'Arte de la Guerra. In addition to authoring books, Tyson has appeared in several TV shows and movies, including Rocky Balboa, The Hangover, One Man Show, Law and Order, SVU, Mike Tyson Mysteries, Titular Character, IP Man 3, and Girls 2.
Mike Tyson? This is my favorite part coming up right now. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Of course, my guy. Hey, come on. Do we need a musical?
In March 2015, Tyson was featured in Madonna's track Iconic. Currently, Tyson is hosting his podcast, Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson. In addition to his TV shows and music collaborations, 2 documentaries, Tyson and Mike Tyson The Knockout, were based on Tyson's life. In 2016, Mike Tyson, along with partner Rob Hickman, launched his cannabis business venture named Tyson Holistic Holding, comprising of 2 companies, Tyson Holistic and Tyson Ranch.
We're a little kid with this stuff.
This stuff is his stuff.
Cannabis grown for his business, Tyson Ranch.
Tyson released his company's first product, CBD-rich pain relief cream called Copper Gel Ice in 2018. In 2021, Tyson launched another cannabis business called Tyson 2.0 in collaboration with Columbia Care. This new venture represented an advanced version of his first business.
When you reach the top, where do you go? For me, the future. To become timeless.
The product line includes cannabis flowers, concentrates, and consumables. Currently, Tyson 2.0 is expanding internationally and generating significant revenue.